Do you see this beautiful, magnificent, pristine, absolutely perfect single track up here in the Alps? It is time for a little rant as I take a little rest on my way up. Guys, this is about trails. This is about my opinion that there is no good reason to keep trails secret. There's no good reason not to share the knowledge, and I'm going to try to make my point as short and as lucid as I possibly can. Anyway, so unless riding somewhere is illegal, or you would just want to keep it secret because you don't want to piss people off so something becomes illegal, there's no reason for you to keep trail knowledge secret. Because if you're out here in the Alps in Europe, we have these valleys which are filled with hundreds of thousands of kilometers of great single tracks that are here because of history. Thousands of years of people doing agriculture, forestry, trading, military roads, just connecting villages, etc. If you're going to use a trail, it's going to get destroyed. If you're not going to use a trail, it is also going to get destroyed. Hear me out. So, using a trail through too much traffic is going to erode it. You're going to get water channeling, you're going to get people cutting corners, and it's going to get wrecked, so you need to maintain it. If you're not going to use a trail, it's going to get either overgrown or wrecked by water, or both, and it's also going to be gone. So any form of trail, used or not used by whoever, whatever, needs maintenance. It took me a while to realize this as well, but this is the simple truth. And if you go into the Alps, you will see a lot of trail maintenance. Steps in the trail, water gullies in the trail, stones indicating that you shouldn't cut corners, signposting in order to channel traffic, etc. Now about this traffic, real short, I'm out here on a mountain bike right now, and I always get this myth that mountain bikes destroy trails more than hikers. There's multiple studies that show that there's not a lot of difference between how much hikers or mountain bikers erode trail surfaces. It's all about, how much traffic and what kind of space combined with what kind of environmental conditions, etc. So hikers destroy trails, bikers destroy trails, horses and animals destroy them even more. Back to my original point. In my experience in working in tourism, most people are extremely reluctant to think outside of the box. People always buy the same trips to the same places. Think, for example, of the Tour du Mont Blanc, the #1 multi-day hike in Europe. I think, for example, of the Laugaveger in Iceland. And I think, for example, in mountain biking terms, Finale in Italy. Everybody's going to the same places to do the same things because it's easy to get information, because it's easily recognizable, and they don't want to take the risk by picking something that is not 100% confirmed by peer proof to be the exact thing they're thinking of in their 1 week of doing this thing per year, probably. So in order to get people to veer away from these hotspots of very well-known cliches, so to say, it takes a lot. It is very difficult. So if you get all these people in these hotspots, in order for them to spiral out, this is difficult. So you're not immediately going to get thousands and thousands of people riding that one trail you like by just sharing it online. By sharing trails online, you're spreading the load somewhat. And then this leads to, and actually I need to refer to a very, very cool project of a person that is a lot more mature in this field than I am, Ash Smith, his Stone King Rally project here in the borders with France and Italy. Basically what they're doing is they're trying to rediscover all of these ancient trails which are just loaded in these valleys here, in stark contrast to, for example, the United States, where you don't have this history. So they're trying to rediscover these things and share them, not only by their events, not only by their race, and also just putting trail collections online for anybody just to find them, also by collaborating with the locals. Because maintaining trails, sending people out to work on the trails, costs time at the very least, and it also costs money, and it costs will. Now, a problem that a lot of these valleys up here in the Alps have is that they are drained from people. all of these end of the valley places that used to be full of human activity in the past, they're just emptying. Villages are dying, valleys are dying because old people retire, old people die, and young people move away to study and to work, etc., because they just have no economical incentive to stay in these end of the line villages. Now, some of these valleys here in the Alps are extremely lucrative, not only because of ski tourism, also hiking and biking tourism. And then these people have enormous budgets, relatively speaking, to work on trails, to maintain them, to channel traffic, etc. And what a project like this Stone King Rally does is it helps to convince people, not only the bikers and the hikers, etc., but also the locals, that bringing these people in, convincing them that these trails are magnificent, is not only bringing money to the locals, in the form of people staying on campsites, people staying on hotels, people buying meals, people using local shops to buy sports gear to get their bikes fixed, all that kind of thing. These are all, side effects of people using trails that otherwise wouldn't be used. So by sharing knowledge on maybe obscure trails that you want to keep secret because you don't want them to keep ruined, it is well intended, but in my opinion, it is short-sighted. Because if you and maybe 20 other people per year are going to be using this trail, it's going to get forgotten, it's going to get overgrown, nobody's going to maintain it, it's going to deteriorate, and it's going to disappear anyway. By sharing trail knowledge, by sharing passion, and by cooperating with locals, you get trail maintenance because it is economically viable and it is worthwhile for them. Spreading the load, maintaining the environment is just good for everybody. It's good for the guy, it's good for the baker, it's good for the person baking the pizza, it's good for the person running the local hotel, and it's good for the animals because traffic is going to be more channeled. It's good for the environment because people are actually going to be willing and able to spend time and money on maintaining the trails, because a trail is going to die if you use it. A trail is going to die if you don't use it. A trail needs to be maintained, and in order for a trail to be maintained, it needs to be worthwhile to maintain it, which means spreading the love, spreading the knowledge, and not being selfish about this. That's my point of view.